For the last few years, we had been dealing with the American Civil War since it was 150th anniversary. And as we completed some major exhibitions, we were looking at what would our next exhibit be. And we looked at what is the most important thing that impacted Lynchburg, Virginia. And we realized that it's the James River, because without the James River, there would be no Lynchburg. We're a creation of the river, all because of a shallow area at the western tip of Percival's Island called Horse Ford. Even before people were in Virginia, wild animals could cross there. And then as Native Americans moved into the area, they could cross there and also hunt game. And then the first settlers were drawn to it too as a way to get across this major river. And from there we go to a ferry in 1757, and then a settlement grows up around the ferry and we become a town. And in the 1850s we become a city, and here we are today in 2014, a city of almost 80,000 people, but our roots are in the James River. Some call it America's most historic river. If you think about it, it's where the first European settlements were established that lasted. It's where the birth of slavery takes place there. Really the birth of English-speaking America takes place there. And then you can follow it through the different wars, the Revolutionary War, the spread of the tobacco economy, the American Civil War, which ironically brought about the end of slavery. So slavery sort of begins and ends with a very related to the James River. It's one of the largest rivers in the country that is totally self-contained. It flows only in the state of Virginia, and it goes through all of our mountains, Piedmont and Tidewater area, and it goes from a little trickling brook up in the mountains to 3 to 4 miles wide down at Hampton and Norfolk. But it's an amazing waterway, and we realized that resources that we could work with included historic photographs, antique art, modern art. We're partnered with the James River Association because of the environmental aspect. That group is working so hard to clean up the James River after decades of abuse. There's a lot of history affiliated with it. We've got artifacts coming on everything from Native Americans to the bateaus and canal boats, images of early industry, just a wide array of artifacts. We're even borrowing about 1/3 of a bateau that we're going to haul up these steps and place in our upstairs gallery. It's a reproduction bateau, but it's being loaned to us. But we also have items that are coming that have been dug up in the Jamestown Fort dig. Jamestown Rediscovery Preservation Virginia has graciously agreed to loan us some items. And these are things that the English brought to Jamestown in the 1607, 1614 period. Some of the earliest ceramics made in America, some of the earliest fish hooks, remains of what the colonists ate. We've got pottery from a variety of pottery that the colonists brought with them, trade goods with the Native Americans. And so we're looking at the James River really from all the aspects of art, history, culture, and the natural environment. It impacts our lives in a variety of ways, usually good. When our Peddler Reservoir gets low, we have the river as a secondary drinking water source. It's a wonderful resource for recreation. That's one of the things that the James River Association is highlighting. So we're going to talk about everything from kayaking and tubing, fishing, hiking, bird watching. Of course, sometimes the river's angry. We're also doing a section on the floods. The river's flooded since time began, but we know that some terrible floods here in Lynchburg in the 1870s, in the 1930s, and then of course in my earlier years, Camille was here in 1969, and then a terrible flood occurred in 1985, where large parts of Jefferson Street and the lower area of the city were underwater, and a lot of devastation. The exhibit will open to the public for First Friday on June 6, 2014, and we'll open that evening to the public, and then we're going to run this exhibit for 18 months, so it'll last until the end of December 2015. we made a conscious decision to string it out as long as we could to allow more people to come and learn about the river and take advantage of it. The museum, we run the museum and Point of Honor, and adults who visit the individual sites at $6 a person, or they can buy a joint ticket and visit both for $10. And then we have a decreasing scale for seniors, college students, younger students, and then anyone under 6 is free. And we're also open for free on First Fridays. And we've created a membership program in the last year, and our members can come to both sites free anytime they'd like. So there are a lot of opportunities for people to come visit. We also offer school tours to the Lynchburg public schools. Since we're all part of the same organization, we don't charge them. And then there are just nominal fees for our surrounding county or traveling school groups that come here. We were looking at what could we do that was important, that was not about the American Civil War. And then we realized that because Lynchburg is a creation of the river, and it's this wonderful natural resource that brought us all here, then we started thinking about, well, if you do an exhibit on a river, what in the heck do you show people? But as we explored it, we were able to figure out that most parts of Virginia history connect to that river. So many artists have done the river in a variety of mediums. And then we looked at historic photographs, and again, hundreds and thousands of photographs of the river. So, you know, mankind has always been drawn to water, and we just found rich resources that will allow us to pull this together. And a lot of other groups that are interested and can help us on the way.